welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. We are going north of Boston today with an awesome guest. His name is Stephen Russell. He's got quite a story to tell. I thought he was a comedian. Now I'm not so sure, but that's okay. That's why we do Topic Time, because we find stuff out about the people that I interview. Yeah, but before we get to him, of course, we have some amazing underwriters. Don't have a lot, but they're all great, so we read them off. So we have Carver Jewelers, Ronald Allen, Lily Delano Goldsmiths right here in the building in Carver. We have Curtis Car Care in Middleborough. Thank you, Adam. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have the Hanover House of Pizza in Hanover. They make great Sicilian pizza, Greek salads, have awesome people working there, and they deliver. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have Brian's Barbershop in Kingston. We have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We have the Gun Runner LLC, the Second Amendment Freedom Store in Middleborough, specializing in customer service, pricing, and selection. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington, right up the road on Route 58. We have the auto shop in Hanover with Master Mechanic Ed Rooney, and we have a new one, Glow Barbecue. It's a barbecue truck at the corner of Main Ave and Cranberry Highway on Route 6 in Wareham, and I want to thank you guys very much. And by the way, they do catering. So, Stephen Russell, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me, man.
Okay. So, well, tell me a little about yourself. You reached out to me to do the show. You said you got some crazy stories to tell. Well, I love crazy stories. Let's go. Let's hear some crazy stories. Go ahead. What do you got?
It's hard to know where to start, though. Start somewhere at the beginning.
All right, go back to your childhood. Let's start with, because that's usually.
I grew up in Onset. I'm an Onset native.
Yep.
Been around that town my whole life. I was fortunate to grow up in a nice part of Onset in the coast.
Okay.
And I grew up doing, normal stuff, sports and on. But I spent my weekends in the woods shooting shotguns and sporting clays.
Okay.
My grandfather was an underwater demolition, former Navy SEAL.
Okay.
So I got to do a lot of fun stuff on the weekends.
Okay. All right, outdoorsy stuff too, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very much outdoorsy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I love that area. So that Onset's a part of Wareham, and that's where I was actually just there about a half hour ago, finishing up with that last underwriter that I read. And I'm guessing. Oh, it is. Okay, but why? So why? This is like right off Route 6, I'm guessing, right? Around that area?
Where we had met, my mother's house, or where I grew up, is about a stone's throw from there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now give us your reasons for moving, to relocating. What was that about?
Well, unfortunately, my father passed around the time of 2019.
Okay.
And, there's been mentally ill for most of my life, and there was a falling out of sorts around the time of COVID. And I found myself homeless overnight, basically, around the time of 2020.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's when I actually moved into that boat that you met me at, right next to the barbecue shop.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay, that's right. The other one. All right.
I'm the one.
The other one. Oh, yeah. I had to go back there today because you know what happened when we did the transaction a couple of weeks ago. I lost his information, and so I had to go back there today because I didn't even know. I couldn't even find that on you. I couldn't even find that on Google.
I made sure that I had your information, so I was going to reach out to you, but you ended up reaching out to me.
I know. I love how that worked out. So yeah, you're a smart guy. You know what you're doing. Yeah. It's almost like, how could I forget? You already told me a pretty crazy story the day I met you there a couple of weeks ago.
I became homeless originally because my father passed and falling out with my mentally ill mother.
Yeah.
And then I was lucky enough after spending a good amount of time homeless around the streets and still working. And, I had been working my whole life, so it was not difficult for me to find work. It was just I had never been anywhere near that situation before being homeless. I was like a house cat that had been put outside.
Yeah.
What do I do? I from the year 2020 to around 2022, I was homeless, and I ended up getting a place through an organization in that town by the name of Father Bills.
Okay, what town was this? In Onset?
Wareham.
Wareham, okay. Well, Onset's a part of Wareham. I should know that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Onset is a village within Wareham.
Okay.
So, you fast forward, rewind a bit from now, or fast forward from then, I ended up at a house in Wareham through an organization, a church organization called Father Bills.
Okay.
I had lived there for a bit. It was indoors, but it was a crack house of sorts, and blah blah blah. But ultimately, one of the tenants, one of my neighbors, ultimately tried to murder me last year.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me. Wow.
He almost choked me out. He had me on full ground and pound, full mount. He was a larger man. He was sitting on my waist.
Yeah. Wow.
I was laying down completely flat, defending and being beaten at the same time as he had his forearm right on my trachea. I couldn't even get.
Would it be inappropriate to ask what his grudge was? I mean, I'm just wondering.
I'm sorry?
I mean, would it be inappropriate to ask what his grudge was?
Everybody asks that question, and I always say the same answer. You have to ask him.
You have to ask him. Okay. Wow.
The only thing I can tell you would be that he's been combative since the first day that I moved in. He was a hardcore addict. I didn't really care about that. And,
Yeah.
As long as you leave me alone, I leave you alone. But he had been, trying to pick fights for this was not new.
Right.
Backyard speaking with a landscaper at the time, thankfully, and also luckily there was video surveillance on the building, and that's what ultimately saved me because I ended up in jail for 9.5 days. And
Whoa, wait a minute. You ended up in jail because he tried to kill you?
After I was on the ground, and I always carry a pocket knife.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A pocket knife. And I was on the ground being choked out. I thought I was done. I was not thinking. I was reacting.
Yeah. Wow.
I was able to get him off of me. You can see this all in video.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even see the video, but wow. Okay.
I ran inside, called the police before he even did. This is all on record, all through the court system. And once the police arrived, I was the one who was arrested. He was brought to the hospital. And ultimately, whilst I was waiting for the police, I used to be a licensed to carry owner for many, many years.
Right.
And fortunately, gone now because of all this rigmarole.
Yeah.
But at the time, I had also had, an issue with my mother, restraining order and such. So my license to carry was at the time revoked. But in my house, I did have a taser from the times that I, had my firearms.
Oh.
I no longer have any firearms, but I still did have a taser in my home. I put that in my pocket until the police got there, just in case this guy wanted to come back for more. Ultimately, I ended up getting brought to the police station with the taser still in my pocket. They tried to charge me with that as well, but ultimately that was not an issue. I was being arraigned, not charged, but they wanted to charge me with attempted murder with a deadly weapon.
Wow. Were there no witnesses at all? Plus, you had the video, though.
Thankfully, again, I only spent 9.5 days in Plymouth County Jail. Not even the whole 9 days there. Between the time that I was arrested from the time that I was released on July 2nd of last year.
Yeah.
The courthouse, I was released. They wanted a $50,000 bail and an ankle monitor, whilst I had a completely clean record, no violence, no nothing on my record.
Right.
So luckily, the judge did do the right thing, and there was no ankle monitor, no bail. I was on probation for the whole last year, and as of March 5th of this year, I've been found innocent of everything. It's all been.
I know. Continue without a finding, and then you did what you had to do.
Whatever case, I had to plead to the possession of that taser because if I had been found guilty of it in Massachusetts, it's a mandatory minimum.
I know. You're away. I know. I get mace at my house, and I hope I never have to use it. I don't take it with me either. I keep it in my drawer. I work out every day. Hopefully that'll keep the bad guys away. So far, yeah. All right. Well,
that's one of many crazy stories.
All right. Sounds
short.
Go ahead. Let's hear more.
Oh, geez. All right. Here's a funny one. I was saying that my grandfather was a Navy, originally a frogman, what they called him back in the day. There.
Okay.
They're what's called Navy SEALs.
Okay.
His designation was underwater demolition. So I was telling you how I grew up on the weekends going to a rod and gun club.
Right.
And I used to do the sporting clays on the weekend, but also there'd be, my grandfather used to actually set up the course.
Okay.
Basically clay targets we're shooting at.
Okay.
If you could picture the sport trap or skeet, it's like that. My father would call it redneck golf because their stations all throughout the woods.
Okay.
Different shots that you're looking at. Sometimes you're going left to right. Sometimes you're shooting straight up in the air. Sometimes they're rolling across the ground.
But these are non-living targets. This is not hunting, right?
They're clay targets.
Right. Good. Because I'm a vegan. As a vegan, I detest hunting and fishing.
Well, as a huge meat eater, I don't mind it as long as I'm eating what I'm killing. I've only ever gone pheasant hunting, and I just eat what I shot.
Okay, well, I mean, I know people do it. I mean, I hope at some point that the world.
I find the need for it because we got grocery stores and we got farms for our meat. It's just that's why I enjoy the simulated hunting a lot to kill anything.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Anyway, so the point of that was while I was there on the weekends, some funny stuff or fun stuff you could think about nowadays doing this type of the type of things that I was doing as a child would be outrageous.
Yep.
So my grandfather would need a boulder removed out of one of the paths in the woods.
Right.
And he'd say, "Hey, Stevie, go take a hole and take this big explosive and go bury it in there, light it, and come running."
Wow. Why did he want you to do that? Just to see how fast you could run? Run the explosive?
And he needed the rock moved out of the way of the road, or out of the path. So
How old were you when this was going on?
probably anywhere between the age of 6 to 12 years old.
So okay, so he basically had his juvenile grandchild was it was just a kid, risk his life to move a rock. Is that what you're saying?
Doing what?
Risk your life to move a rock for him.
In so many words, yeah, basically.
Okay.
He was like, you like that, you run your ass back here as fast as you can.
Okay. All right. Well, you obviously there's another thing you survived. I'm trying to wonder what was more dangerous, the guy in your jugular vein or running the dynamite.
That was fun for me, yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. It was basically dynamite that I was playing with as a young child.
Okay, you were. Well, listen, you're a very articulate guy with a lot and with a very well spoken and way of describing things.
I do like to think that I have an eclectic vocabulary, but honestly, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors.
I know it is. It's BS. Believe me, I know because I had to. It took how many decades it took me to develop my own plethora of great communication skills. But what I'm getting at is, I'm trying to think, for someone like you, you'd probably be good in stand-up comedy. Have you ever tried that?
That's what I told you. I'm an aspiring.
Aspiring.
I've been a fan for decades, and I've definitely written material over the years. And there's just so much up here between my own stories and my friends and families that I could write for days.
What I'm getting at is, have you ever done like an open mic somewhere?
That is something that's on my list soon, especially now that I'm closer to Boston. And I have some friends out there, and I might be able to go out there, try a little bit of that, and then, crash on a couch or something, because I am now technically homeless.
Yep. Wow. You're not the first homeless person I had on the show. Last year I had a guy named Brian Arborio from Maine. I don't know if you know him, but, well, do you have children?
No, I don't know the name.
No, I know. I figured you probably didn't. You don't have children, right?
No.
Okay.
Childless, by choice.
Yeah. Not married, I guess, either, right? Or no.
I've been close a few times.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, but you obviously have a place to stay as long as you want to, right? It's not.
No, this is like more of a small vacation with some friends, kind of trying out the area.
Okay.
Stay in that boat right now. That's my residence right now. I'm saving up for the winter time. Or I may come back in this area for the winter time to try to work and maybe stay here for a small period of time.
Okay.
I'll be able to do things out, also waiting for housing and so on.
All right. Now, the kind of jobs you've done, like if you've done odd jobs, like do you have any skills like carpentry or anything like that, or working in roofing?
So I have background in that. My father was a machinist by profession, so I can pretty much operate any machine.
Okay.
For many years, so you put me on any machine, as far as landscaping is concerned, it's a done deal.
Okay.
I've done, so there's the landscaping, there's the plumbing, I've done carpentry, I've done quite a bit. I actually wrote down yesterday every job I've ever worked since I was about 12, and it's getting up to around 30 jobs, but I didn't separate, I've worked the same kinds of jobs many times. I didn't separate, actual individual professions or skills.
Okay, now, I guess you never went to college then, right?
No, I did a tech school right over the bridge on the Cape, Upper Cape Tech.
Okay, see, that's probably how you learn some of the hands-on stuff that you know.
Yeah, no, I'm very much more hands-on than I am.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think you sell yourself short because you seem like a very intelligent person, just the way, like I said, just the way you articulate your words.
Thank you very much. I have retarded obsessive compulsive, maybe not diagnosed, but I have retarded.
Me too. I have it too. I have autism, so I'm proud of that.
Not PC, not retarded. I have ridiculous ADHD, attention deficit hyper disorder that I was diagnosed as a child, and I was actually prescribed the Ritalin back then when they would read you a book for an hour and ask you the questions, and I was like, bouncing off the walls.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
I don't take prescribed medication for attention deficit hyper disorder. I use, I medicate the medical cannabis.
Okay, that must be nice. Do you have, I mean, are you like certified to have, I guess you're certified to have medical cannabis?
I used to have my medical card, and I also used to have my Class A license to carry, which is kind of in Massachusetts, a gray area. Nowadays, I don't even bother with the medical card because it's just expensive and you have to renew it every year. But I did actually and was qualified to work in a dispensary. I used to work at Bask in Fairhaven. Shout out to Bask, guys. Bask is one of the best dispensaries on the Cape. Check them out in the Fairhaven.
Okay. Oh, it's in Fairhaven. Okay, I thought you said Barry, like Barry, Mass, but that's not. You said it's in Fairhaven, right?
Fairhaven, Mass.
Yep.
And name it Bask, BASK.
Yeah, Bask. Okay, like Bask in the sunshine.
Yeah,
well,
correct.
Okay, you could, you know how to, and I mean, to be honest with you, back when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I smoked weed every day for a while. I mean, I did that. I made pot brownies and ate them. So I know how enjoyable that can be. Unfortunately, I don't use anything now. I have asthma and I have a heart condition, so I got to be careful. I'm in great health, but
I was reading your post about your acid trip.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. 46 years ago today, I was at that time. I would do acid. If somebody had it, if it was available, I would jump at the chance.
I generally try to do it only once or twice a year.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those chems because they can really fry your brain to you know what. So, no, I know.
Mushrooms more than I do the acid, but again, only maybe once or twice a year, if that.
So, have you ever done anything like? Have you ever played music? I'm trying to figure out what your high skills are.
I did drums for a bit. What was the question again?
I want to try to figure out what your skill. I mean, everybody probably has skill, creative things, creative aspects that have been untapped so far.
As I said earlier, I've been shooting since I was young, and I did up until 2019 when my father passed away.
Yeah.
Almost every weekend, and even after he passed, I still did it very frequently, just hard to report it. And but unfortunately, I wasn't able to go because my license to carry was in suspension.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that you can do that you can be happy about and feel satisfied.
I'm a big video gamer. I love making people laugh.
Okay.
I love food. Love to cook.
Why don't you work in a restaurant? Maybe you could do that, couldn't you?
It's fucking hot, and I enjoy cooking for myself and those who I love. In a restaurant, it's too much.
All right, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to figure. I mean, when somebody tells me they're homeless, I'm trying to figure out a way to help them.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't close any doors. I keep my options open. Right now, I'm not even really looking for full-time work because I have so much that I need to take care of as far as housing, doctor's appointments. That guy broke my freaking nose that day.
Yeah.
Wow. I actually recently, in the last 2 years, had nasal recorrective surgery for a prior deviated septum that I've had since I was a child.
Right.
And this guy broke my nose last year. He fucked up my goddamn corrective surgery, so now I can't breathe properly again.
Oh man.
I have to have wait a whole freaking probably year to have another scheduled surgery.
Yeah. What were you doing that day that I met you? I always say everything happens for a reason.
The boat.
That was a boat. Okay, I sort of remember there was a boat there, but that's where I
live. That's where I sleep at night. So
okay.
I'm gonna grab a bite to eat or doing my dishes or something.
Right. Okay. Well, that's amazing. Okay. I take you're pretty friendly with the guy that runs. I take you're fairly friendly with the guy that runs Glow, right? That's why you were there.
He's a crack guy. He gives me up some meals every now and then. I always try to pay when I can, but he won't even take my money half the time.
He's a good guy. Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't think he even realizes that you're my guest today because I didn't realize that you. I mean, it's funny when you texted me to do the show, and then I didn't realize that you were the guy that I met that day until we started today. That's incredible.
Yeah, I can't see you anymore.
I can't see you either. Can you do something about that? Yeah, there we go. That's better. All right. Well, so you played the drums a little bit? What?
Yeah, when I was in high school and stuff, or before, in middle school maybe, but I never was sticking with that. Very,
Have you ever tried writing something? Your life story would be fascinating.
It's more like I would love to write a comedy movie or a comedy act. That's really where my mind goes.
Have you ever done anything with film editing at all? Because that's what I'm thinking.
This is even I've done Zoom all maybe 5 or 6 times before in the past. I just got to let you know I'm at 5% battery, so I'm going to lose you soon. I apologize. I meant to charge my phone before this. I didn't plug in if you'd like.
No, go ahead. I can wait a few seconds. We're almost, my tech guy's gonna come in a few seconds and tell me we're down to the final 5 minutes. So go ahead, go ahead and plug it in.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna go into my friend's bedroom and plug in. It'll just be a little darker in there, but I'll get some light.
Okay, that's fine. Fire up your bong and then just do what you gotta do. Okay.
Sounds good.
In fact, I think we're down to the final 5 minutes.
It's actually about to rain here anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's bringing cats and dogs.
Well, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes. You just froze up, but,
Got me?
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the greatest service out here. Maybe when I get inside.
Okay, that's better. You're back a little bit. Okay.
Connection will be better.
All right.
The server.
All right. Yeah. You're frozen a little now too. It was going good for most of the show. Try wiggling it a little.
I'll be right. I'll be done in just.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Come back. Let's see, and then we'll finish it up. That's great. Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. Any motion's better than no motion. That's what I say. Okay. In the meantime, while you're walking, I can check out your yard. That's pretty sweet. Well, not your yard, but I can check out the background. It's pretty sweet, like you said. Yeah. Okay.
I actually just mowed it the other day.
That's a very nice neighborhood.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It is, yeah. Yep.
He has this built in this fence right now, this stone wall.
Okay.
Okay, inside.
Oh, great, good work. So now, all right. Well, I hope you had fun talking to me.
It looks like it's about to rain, so I'm coming in. I'm still on the call on the last 5 minutes, but I gotta plug in.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Now, I see that ceiling fan is. I'm surprised it's not running. I guess it's cooled off a little up there.
Hey. You okay that finish up here? I was gonna go.
Yeah, we're almost done. Whoever's in there, we're almost done. We're not gonna interrupt your TV show.
We're good. We're good. I am plugged in now.
Oh, perfect. You're running a charge. Yeah. All right. Can you still hear me? Oh, crap, not my phone like that. Jeez. Okay, well, we're going to wrap up another episode of Topic Time. I guess we left Steven, but we had a great show as usual. So get psyched for another one next week. Signing off and rolling out.